Bruce Carrington versus Jason Sanchez, 10 rounds in the featherweight division. This will be a good fight and a step-up fight for Shu Shu Carrington. My apologies if you hear me cough throughout the video, man. Your boy has been sick this weekend, and I'm trying to get over it, trying to overcome it. So bear with me here, but let's get into it. Let's start with Bruce Carrington. 9 wins, no losses, 5 wins by way of knockout. Man, Shu Shu has had quite the year in 2023. This is a great way to close out the year if he comes out on top. He's fought 4 times already. I mean, this is an era in boxing where you don't see a lot of people fighting this amount of time. Usually, if you're an up-and-comer, yeah, you know, we may see you 3 to 6 times. If you're one of the bigger stars, I mean, you're lucky if you see them once a year. You know what I'm saying? So big year for Shu Shu in the sense of being active. That's great. That's beautiful. Developing into the ring, working on your skills and staying active. He started the year out fighting Juan Antonio Lopez, who doesn't have the best record by no means, but he's kind of a tricky fighter. He's tough. He's got good size, and he's always competitive. And that was the first fight that I actually saw Shu Shu kind of fighting off the back foot a little bit more. And because the opposition was forcing him to do something different, he had to do something different. You started to see some of the angles that he was taking to really land his shots. You know, I thought he was landing some great shots in that fight, really doing some good work. Carrington, to me, man, since he came into the professional rankings, he's always been a good technician. He's always had fast hands, and he's always put together good, solid combinations, accurate with it. He's a physical guy, man. He's got that grit, right? That he's from the same place as Mike Tyson. So he's got that level of meanness and toughness to him, and that switch to say, man, if I have my opponent hurt, if I have to be more aggressive, if I have to take that risk, let me flip the switch and let me go ahead and do what I have to do. He's got that type of thing, and you need that in boxing. But I thought it was a good performance against Lopez, man, a physical guy, and he was able to show boxing ability, right? He was able to separate himself. He was able to make adjustments in real time when the fight was physical, when he could not get the guy out of there. After that, he fought Brandon Chambers, one of his best offensive performance. I mean, the fight didn't last too long, but Carrington really just picked him apart, man. He was able to do whatever he wanted to do. Partially, you know, Chambers wasn't fighting back as well too. But what I liked was when Shu Shu had him hurt, you know, usually when you have your opponent hurts, man, you're going out there and you're swing happy, and you would leave yourself in trouble if you aren't careful. But Shu Shu, when he had him hurt, he just took his time, and was patient and was poised and made sure that his punches were landing where he wanted it to. It was just a great moment that you could really see the patience and the poise of a fighter that has a lot of potential, man. He was able to close out that show in 2 rounds. After that, he fought Luis Perozzo. Even though Perozzo's a bit of a journeyman, man, he's still tough. Like, he's still making things tough a little bit for Shu Shu, but Shu Shu just picked him apart, man. I mean, the speed difference was apparent to me. Perozzo was bigger, but Carrington was beating him to the shots in all fronts. He's being more physical, disguising his attacks. The combinations were wicked fast. It was snappy. It was sharp. It was just an excellent performance, man. And he was able to close out the show in the 8th round. I really think, I mean, the stoppage, you know, stoppages are always kind of weird. I thought that Perozzo could have continued the fight. He was getting hit clean. He was taking some punishment, but he didn't look dazed or too damaged to continue to fight. I mean, the refs got to make the decision, so no fault in that. But I just felt like even if the fight continued, man, I mean, it was close to being finished. He just discouraged Perozzo, because anything that he tried to do, Shu Shu had an answer for it. So another great fight, another great performance. After that, and his most recent fight, he fought Angel Contreras. And for the most part, man, Carrington really turned a pressure fighter into a boxer, right? Contreras is a pressure fighter, but the way how Shu Shu was controlling the range and keeping the fight in the center of the ring, he was able to eliminate some of that pressure and get the guy to box, right? And he not as good as a boxer as Shu Shu is. So Shu Shu was able to keep that mid-distance range, boom, hit the jab. boom, hit the jab, 4 or 5 piece combination, step back, boom, back to the jab, spin, take an angle, spin him around in a different way and try and land the same shots from a different angle. And he did a great job of that. Shu Shu's subtleness inside of the ring, man, is a strength as well too. Like he's able to slip in some uppercuts from in close. It's like boom, boom. He's able to slip it in and then slip out. And he might even go and double the uppercut and then hit you with the right hand low to the body. So he's able to do a lot of things very quickly in real time, and he's able to get away with it because he doesn't smother his work. He doesn't smother his shots, man. He knows exactly what he is doing. He's sharp right now. And so I like seeing Shu Shu fight, and I like seeing what he's able to do and what he's been working on, man. He's a reactive fighter, and he's looking to throw the hands, right? He's looking to get into that dog fight. He wants that, but he's also got the ability to get into that fight, but also say, you know what, man, I need to step back today. Let me show you that I can box as well, too. I think he's a dual threat. He's able to do both. So we'll see how he's able to handle Jason Sanchez, man. On paper, this is going to be his toughest test yet, and it's a step up, and it's his first 10-round fight. And we know Jason Sanchez, man, he is tough. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. Let's talk about his opponent, Jason Sanchez. 16 wins, 4 losses, 9 wins by way of knockout. As I said, man, Sanchez is one tough cat, man. And he's a very straightforward fighter, man. The man's coming to fight. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of will, and he's coming to bring it, right? The guys he's lost to have been guys who, you know, if you've been watching boxing quite a time, you know the names. Oscar Valdez, right? He fought tough. He gave Valdez a tough fight. He got dropped in the 5th round, and he could have stayed down. He got back up and finished the fight strong. Valdez, to that point, was known to be a big puncher, and he was not able to put him away. After that, he lost to Christopher Diaz, and he just got outworked that fight. But to be quite honest, man, Diaz was just on one that night. He was just too much for Sanchez. The quickness, speed, the power, the accuracy in his shots, the power. It was just a tough night for him. He was not going to be able to compete with Diaz that night, man. Diaz was just on one that night. He looked great. But again, a fight that he didn't quit. He kept coming forward. No matter how many times he was getting touched up, he still brought the pressure and still tried to find a way how to win the fight. He's going to fight you from round 1 to however many rounds that it is in the fight. After that, he fought Adam Lopez, and he lost to Adam Lopez. But at the beginning half of the fight, he was winning that fight. He was giving Adam Lopez work physically, just being in his face. Right? The right hand shots, left hand shots, the body shots, really just making Lopez, forcing him to be physical. Lopez, about 5th, 6th round, started to make adjustments. He started not to fight Sanchez as a fight and started to step back a little bit, create a little bit space and separation, and get back to boxing, slipping and moving and boxing on the outside and making sure that you're off the ropes and not trying to go toes and toes. And when he was able to step back and use his jab and counterpunch and not let the aggressiveness be the thing that actually puts him in danger, he was able to get the momentum back in his favor, and he was able to swing the latter 2 rounds in order to win the fight. But Sanchez wasn't lying down, man. He was coming to win the fight, and you could see, even though he was losing some of the fights against the top guys, he was still developing and still learning from those losses. Lopez had to earn that fight, man, because Sanchez landed some big shots, and I thought he looked pretty good for the most part to me in that fight. In his most recent fight, he fought Zelfa Barrett, and he just got outboxed that fight, man. Got caught with a shot that dropped him, but he got back up and fought all the way to the end. And if you're looking at the paperwork when he fought Barrett, it tells it tells 2 stories. The fight tells 2 stories, right? The first fight, you will see that Barrett won the fight cleanly. Then you look at the fight, and then you look at the post interview, and you see, man, Barrett got touched up a little bit, man. His face was black and blue, right? The eye was black and blue. So Sanchez was hitting him. Sanchez was hitting him clean. He was getting in there. He was making it a physical fight. He just could not operate. What he lacks in athleticism and skill and talent, he makes up for it in physicality and strength, right? He's got good conditioning as well, too. Like, he is going to grind out fighters, right? And in the sense of make it so tough, make it so grueling, that eventually you will break down. And so Carrington needs to be careful of what fight he is going to fight into this fight. You know, sometimes Shu Shu likes to fight fire with fire. Not always the best situation. And this is a guy who has experience fighting guys who are big punchers. I don't think Shu Shu has the same punching power like Oscar Valdez does, but we'll see how it goes on the night. So who wins? I like Carrington to win this fight by decision. But if he doesn't fight his fight, it's going to be a lot tougher for him in this fight. Sanchez isn't going to go away. And if Carrington comes in headhunting, man, he might find himself in trouble. But if he goes and attacks the body early and really just takes every round to break down Sanchez and to discourage him and to create that separation, I think he comes away with a comfortable decision win. This is going to be his toughest test yet. And I think strategy and game plan in this one is going to play a big factor. Yeah, Shu Shu is more talented. He's faster. He's more skilled, more athletic. He's got all of the intangible things to make this a comfortable win for him. But just because he has these things doesn't mean he's going to put everything together on the night and see how it unfolds, man. He's going to have to work. He's going to have to be consistent, pick his spots, be sharp, be accurate, but not get sucked into fighting a fire fight. But I like Carrington to win it by decision. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning this one? Let me know in the comment section below. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel. It will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Shout out to everybody that continues to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each of you. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.